Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. So the question is, are you hungry most of the day? And this is something that you want to address, and I'm going to go through some things that you can do to help you with this. For one thing, once you start doing some intermittent fasting, you'll start to realize that hunger is actually just a conditioned response based on what time it is, based on where you're at. You go to a ball game, or you sit down to watch a movie, you want popcorn. These are conditioned responses, and I would say a good rule of thumb is to only eat while you're at the table. Don't eat while you're in the car or watch a movie on the couch. Only eat at the table. That's a great rule of thumb. And also, one of the main things that could lead to hunger as well is, and once you understand that it's a conditioned response, you start to realize that, well, if I only eat at the table, it's going to definitely cut down the times that you're actually snacking throughout the day. Because the goal to start out would be to say have two to three solid meals a day. Okay, if you have satiating meals, it'll lead to less hunger throughout the day. If you get up and you have a bowl of Cheerios, and then you have a muffin an hour later, this is going to lead to more eating, to more overeating, to more snacking. And surprisingly enough, that if you start to fast a little bit, you might think, oh, I'm going to be just starving all the time. You won't. Once you condition your body and you learn to use your own fuel sources for energy, such as your fat stores, you'll actually be less hungry. It's interesting, but since I've started fasting, I'm actually less hungry more of the time. People think it's the other way around, but really, if you're eating throughout the day and when you first get up, this is going to lead to more hunger, especially if you're eating refined things. Okay, I'm sure you've noticed, let's say you have a big lunch or a big breakfast with maybe some refined carbs, maybe just, let's just say you have pizza for lunch at work or whatever, and then you sort of crash after that, but that also leads to more hunger because your blood sugar is going to fall rapidly. So it's this sort of like endless cycle. So actually not eating leads to less hunger eventually. For myself, I'm used to using my own fat stores and ketones for fuel. And so I'm actually less hungry the less I eat. I pick and choose days where I eat a little bit more, or eat a little bit less, but for the most part, when I do eat, I have satiating meals. I'm not just picking around and having a bunch of small meals throughout the day, which I used to do. So eat only at the table is a great rule of thumb. And one thing I'll say with fasting is, if you're intimidating, I wrote a few tips down to help you with this. One, drink some sparkling water. This can fill you up and have some minerals in it, and it's a great way to sort of ride out maybe some hunger waves that you're having throughout the day. Number two would be stay busy. This is a big one. Keep your mind busy. For example, if I'm out throughout the entire day, since I've been doing fasting, it actually gives me more time freedom. I don't have to worry about where my next meal is coming from. Number three, eat satiating meals. I already mentioned that, okay? This is not having a bowl of cereal. This is sitting down and having maybe some wild salmon and a side salad, or perhaps some scrambled eggs or something like that. Something with some protein, some healthy fats that'll fill you up. Getting good sleep is so important, okay? If you're hungry all the time and you're not getting good sleep, this could be a big reason why. And then drinking some hot liquids too help with hunger. Tea, maybe some black coffee every once in a while. You don't want to be reliant on caffeine. You can get non-caffeinated as well. I wouldn't have obviously caffeinated later in the day. And then a big one too, at least for me, is staying out of the kitchen. A good rule of thumb for me is I'm usually done eating around 7:30, and then like the kitchen is closed. I'll do things to other things to distract me, whether it's reading or playing some type of game or whatever it is, but I'm staying out of the kitchen. So I think that's a great rule of thumb. Pick a time that you're just going to say, okay, the kitchen is closed for everybody, right? Everybody in the household. So hunger is a conditioned response. Once you learn this, and you develop some of these good habits with a little bit of fasting and teaching your body and conditioning your body to use its own fat stores for energy, you're going to really find that you're not hungry all the time. And so take these tips, use them on a daily basis, And this sort of changes your relationship with food. I think it's so key. Once you change your relationship with food and you realize that you don't have to rely on it throughout the day, that it really frees you up. First of all, it saves you time, it saves you money, and you just realize that it's sort of like an afterthought a lot of times, right? Especially if you only have like 1 or 2 meals throughout the day, and you really put a lot of, let's just say, healthy, satiating things in that meal if you know you're only having 1 or 2 meals. So change your relationship with food, and your hunger won't be all day and all night. And hopefully this helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'm here for you. Feel free to like, share, comment down below, and enjoy your weekend.